from this, and this is what I get out of it. Well, trying to edit the next video. I need an intro and an explanation for a bit of stuff that's going on. And this video is going to be about cleaning the fuel tank that we ripped out in the last video. And there is a bit of stuff in it. What I'm using to clean out the fuel tank with is just diesel fuel. And I don't want to put anything else in the fuel tank because it's a fuel tank. I don't want any contaminants. There's not fuel in there. So that's why I'm using diesel fuel. I put it on a spray can, put some in the fuel tank as well, and just slush it about a bit to get the worst of the bits just sucked out with a oil changing device. And then I take some diesel fuel on the spray can and just hosing down the inside of the fuel tank, and I'm scrubbing it and trying to wash away whatever I can get loose from the surfaces inside the fuel tank. And to pick the fuel up from the fuel tank, I'm using the fuel polishing system that I was running in the boat earlier on. And that has a double water separating unit, which doesn't have a filter at all. It just uses gravity and the direction that the fuel flows inside of it to separate the water and the heavier sediments from the fuel. From there it goes into the fuel filter in the system, and it runs through the fuel filter, and whatever contaminants that is in the fuel will be separated from the fuel in the filter. And underneath the filter is another sediment bowl, which is to separate if there is any water still in the fuel, that perhaps the other fuel or water separating unit is full or something. This is the last resort to stop it from entering the fuel system and the engine. So yeah, that's clean fuel, but it can contain water, and there's water separating bowl underneath the filter. From there it goes into the fuel pump, which returns it into a canister, which I then drain back into my spray can and uses the fuel again for cleaning the fuel tank. In the end of the video I will include a clip that shows what the fuel polishing system has absorbed or cleaned out of the fuel, and that's quite impressive how much stuff that it really cleans out, and how clean the fuel that exits out from the filter really is. So stay tuned for the end part of this video. Yeah, so that's it. That's how I clean my fuel tank. I don't wipe it down. I don't really. It's not. That's not necessary. There is gonna come new gunk inside, and that's why I keep the filter system with a water separating unit and so on. And also I'm gonna keep the fuel polishing system running in the boat to make sure the fuel is always clean and nice. So I clean it as well as I think it's necessary to clean a fuel tank. If there should be a small bit of debris in there, that's okay. It's gonna get caught in the filter system anyway. And since I have these heavy sediments and fuel water separating unit, it's likely to stop there, and that won't clog any filters. So I think that's good enough. That's how I like to keep it. Of course you could clean it down to a perfect surface, but that's not, it's too much work. It's not worth it. It's gonna get full of gunk again. So in about 5 years I will inspect the fuel tank again, and I don't expect that I will have to clean it then, but I will have another look 5 years later and so on. So I guess with the level of cleanness the fuel in Norway has, that's going to be plenty. So here you can see there is a bit of lumps stuff that I found in the fuel tank. Now I've been carrying it out to the island and outside, and this little amount of fuel has been slushing about as I've been carrying it, and yeah, there is a bit of gunk in here. So I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick it up, but there's one big blob of gunk that just came sliding down from here. So I tilted the tank over a bit to collect the fuel down in this corner, and it just came sliding down. So yeah, I guess I have a kind of a job to do in here. This is what I'm going to use to suck out the worst of the gunk in here. I'm going to put some clean fuel in, and first I'm going to try and get a big blob out of there. But after that I'm going to use clean fuel and try to suck out and scrub the tank from the inside and try to suck out the debris that collects down in this corner. So yeah, and after that I'll put some more clean fuel in, and I will run this thing, and I will just stir up whatever is inside and try to flush it down. And I'm also going to use a spray can with clean fuel on it to spray it on the inside, so I can hose down the fuel tank from the inside. So So this is the fuel cleaning system in operation with really manky fuel. As you can see in the first bowl here, it is quite a lot of gunk that's collected at the bottom of the sediment bowl, and also underneath the glass bottom here I've seen big chunks fall down there. And in the second glass bowl it's a bit less, but there is quite a bit. So that's How it looks. You can see the color of the fuel is really dark brownish. But if you look at the filter unit, fuel in this glass bowl has been run through this Delphi 296 filter, and it is really clean. So from this is what I get out of it. So I'd say that this system seems to be doing well. So I'm looking forward to getting this stuff installed in the boat. I'm obviously going to clean the filter now and change the filter and clean all the glass bowls and so on. That's another video, but this is what came out of this yeah, fuel tank cleaning process experiment thingy. So now I'm going to give you a glimpse down inside of the fuel tank, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we can see down there. This is the fuel tank, like we saw it before, and this stuff at the bottom is when they've cut this hole in the fuel tank. I probably use a blowtorch or something to burn through, I guess, and at least this is gunk from that's burnt into the steel on the bottom, so that's just gonna sit there. I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'll just keep an eye on it from time to time, but it's plenty good enough. So all the manky stuff is out. Doesn't look too bad, doesn't look perfect, but more than good enough. And now all the gunk that was in the fuel tank. And this was actually sloshing about at the bottom there. I've been running this fuel cleaning system for ages, even in rough weather. And the boat has been rocking a lot, but this stuff has stayed together down at the bottom. I can just lift it out with my hands. It was really gross.